Der war mal ganz. Ja, ich hab's noch. Ja, passt schon. Der ist noch nicht dran.
Das hat er nicht gesehen. Ich habe nicht gesehen. Können wir da Tasse weggehen?
Check. No, it's okay. I can hear. Yeah. Better? Yeah, is this better? I can hear at least myself talking. Yeah, I can hear it. No, it's okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Ist okay. Warte mal.
Das bin ich.
Ach, wie schön. Machen wir mal.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also ich klang eigentlich gut.
Ja. Okay. Mach mal.
Warum machst du mich leiser?
Weil ich hier aufdrehe.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jetzt ist es mir zu leise.
Zu leise?
1, 2, 3, 4. Ein bisschen runter. Machen wir auf 27. Ja, weil 27 war ich eigentlich immer. Ja, lass mal so.
Okay.
Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Folge von Dan+Det. Ich bin Dan.
Ich bin Dan, herzlich willkommen. Und heute sind wir zu Gast im Eisstadion im Crimmitschau bei den Eispiraten. Und Gast ist
Jussi Torres. Wir haben uns auf, ich pronounce es etwas Spanisch. Welcome to the show, Jussi.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Jussi, you didn't come to the world and was a coach.
No.
So, what was your beginning in your childhood?
I think the normal one. Grew up with one brother and obviously both parents, and in a relatively small city, Vasa, Finland.
Yeah, and why ice hockey?
I think it was clear for us. My father played when he was younger, and then my older brother, 3 years older, he started playing. So I grew up at the rink. My father was coaching his team, so we spent all our time at the rink. So that was just a natural choice for us.
Mm-hmm. And how long was your father your coach?
He was my coach maybe 4 years, but he was coaching in total like 25 years in junior hockey in Vasa.
Okay. And yeah, did you play other sports beside of ice hockey?
Yeah. In a team, I played also football until I was 16. And I played tennis for a little bit between ages like 6 to 10, and floorball. And then we did some athletics when we were younger, but hockey was always the main for me. And then the football stayed quite along besides it, but other than that, it was mostly just playing out with the buddies without the team. But in an actual team, I played football, hockey, floorball, and tennis.
Okay, it's very special because some played ice hockey and football, but for sports is very special. I'm surprised a little bit. In Finland is a great nation of ice hockey and a little bit of soccer, football. How many people are in Finland will play soccer? No, ice hockey. Is there a number for?
I'm not sure actually how many there is. We're about 5.5 million people in total. And out of that, maybe like official hockey players, it's somewhere like 150,000 people, maybe something like that. I'm not sure. In the junior club where I grew up, we had like 400 kids, 500 kids playing.
Okay, what was the day and how was the day in Finland as a junior player?
It's okay. I think it's just like a normal way. I think the Canadian junior hockey is way more competitive in an early age, but for us it was more regional hockey until you reach the age of 15 when you start playing national. But for us it was just normal. We played the highest league in Finland in under 15, 16 and 18. So it was a good place to grow up.
And what kind of school did you visit as a child, and how it works with ice hockey?
We actually, I had the normal one from classes from 1 to 9, which is mandatory for everybody, what you do in your own region. And then afterward, you go to, is it gymnasium? It's Swedish at least. I don't know how you say it in English. And we started a hockey program that we had a chance to practice 3 times a week in the morning before the school. So we had 90 minutes ice hockey practice before the school 3 times a week. So that was good for us.
It's a strong support for the sport.
Yeah. And I know nowadays they even took it way further. So they have all these like a breakfast facilities and lunches and the players, so they're really taken care of so they can actually pursue their dreams to become a hockey player.
Wo kommst du eigentlich her? Aus Nordfinnland oder Helsinki?
Vasa hat er schon gesagt. Vasa.
Vasa. Okay.
It's a harbor city in the northwest, west.
Yeah, it's like basically right in the middle of Finland on the west.
Yeah.
And the west. Okay.
Yeah, on the west coast. And I researched. I found it was a little beloved city. In Vasa, there are there are the first division club. I'm raus. I'm out. Cut an der Stelle. I forgot my question. Okay. Yes. In Vasa there is a traditional hockey club, 3 times champion in Finland. Why aren't you still there, the head coach? Or?
Yeah, we have a traditional team, but it's a 3-time champion in the second tier.
Yeah.
So it just got promoted to the first tier.
Yeah.
So Vasa never won the first league in Finland. They've been only on the second. When I was still there playing, we only had the second tier league. So, but I don't know. I wanted to have a change. I'm not even for now. Even if I would get an offer from Vasa, I still would not go back. Not yet.
Yeah. And when starts your journey to Europe?
I think this is now my 5th year outside Finland, 5th or 6th. 5th.
Yeah.
I want to say 5th.
Yeah.
So 5 years ago.
Okay, tell our viewers what was your first stage club outside of the country of Finland?
So first 2.5, 3 years I spent in Italy, in Brunico, in the junior program over there. And I went there because of the GM of the club, Diego Scandella. And I knew that if I do a good job with him, he's going to help me take the next step with his connections. He's been around European hockey such a long time, and he knows everybody, and he's got good connections. So you do well for him, he's going to do well for you.
Okay. And why are you a coach? You can also be a manager or something else. Why are you a coach?
That's a good question. Well, I started when I stopped playing. My old coach asked me if I wanna help him as an assistant, and I tried it out, and I really liked it. I like to be as close as a player as possible, but still from the different perspective. You get to be around the team. You get to live that everyday life, which you necessarily don't get to do as a GM. So you really have to be part of the team to get that full experience, what it's like to be in a professional hockey especially. And I enjoy that. I like that. I like to compete as a team, and when you have a common goal and everybody's working towards it, and you get to measure yourselves every day.
Mm-hmm. What was, or is it more difficult to be a coach than a player for you?
No. I think it's harder to be a player.
Mm-hmm.
As a coach, especially in ice hockey, I think the biggest difference, the easiest difference is that nobody is trying to hit me or nobody is trying to hurt me when I'm on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
But on the ice, you have that element of physical play involved. So that alone makes it a little bit different. But I think player is way harder job than a coach.
Mm-hmm. But with your head, it's more difficult as a coach, maybe?
Yeah, it's different. You might, it's as a player, you view the game, or you view your own performance through your own bubble. You don't really see outside your own bubble. But as a coach, you have to review and see the game outside your own bubble, and as a team, as a 5-man units, and that's the biggest difference to me.
Mm-hmm. And you have to be more a leader for your staff.
Yeah, well, obviously you have the responsibility. It's my responsibility is the result. So, yeah, that's part of the job.
Yeah. How do you handle this stuff, like Sebastian?
Well, I'm lucky. I got easy staff. I have Esa and Sebastian. It's not a really high maintenance. Everybody has their own responsibilities, and I try to give them space to handle their responsibilities, so they feel also that they have an input in the team. They feel that they are valued in our team, and as long as for now at least, that's all you got to do. Just let them do their own job. Give them the space to do it, and they're gonna take care of it.
Mm. And he knows what you want to see when he clip the highlights of the game, of the match.
Yeah, obviously it was a learning process for us working first time together. But yeah, now he knows what I want to see. Oh, like gotta ask him, like, give me the line rushes for or against or whatever it is, and he know what I mean, and he's gonna make the clips for me.
Let us go back to the childhood. What means your mother of this part? Your father was a player. Your brother. Now you are a head coach. What was what were the thoughts of your mother and the spellings about that three guys in her family are every day with ice hockey?
Yeah, I know. Like mom also, she was brought up to that. My grandpa was a big hockey guy and a football guy, so my mom also lived in an environment where sports were a big thing. So it was kind of like a natural development for her. And she was like, when I was growing up and starting hockey, my mom was the one who was spending a lot of time with me on my tournament trips because my father and brother were in the same team. So somebody had to drive me to the rink and to be part of my team. So she was a lot on the beginning with me and just all supportive and like even still, they're really supportive on my pursuing my dream as becoming a head coach now and as a hockey career. So I'm grateful for that.
Now you are a very young head coach, I thought. What's the difference between an experienced one, or what's your Vorteil? You know?
Yeah. I think I understand. I don't view myself as a young coach. If there's a 31-year-old manager in Premier League, he's a young maybe in that environment. But for me, I don't think that's going to be an issue. But experience is always good if you can handle it the right way. But experience just for experience, it doesn't give you anything. You have to learn from the experiences, and if you can do that, obviously experience is going to help you. But yeah, maybe ask me again after 5 years or 10 years. So my answer most likely it's going to be different. But for now, right now, I don't see the lack of experience as necessarily a bad thing. That means also that there's not a lot of package.
Okay. And what was your experience in Italy?
It was good and bad. Like the city was extremely beautiful where I live. Brunico is such a beautiful place, so it was a nice place to live. The hockey rink, all the facilities were top notch. They're brand new, everything. So it was like everything around the hockey was good and fun. But then you miss the competition level is not as high as you would like. It helped me a lot when the first team hired a Finnish coach over there, so I get to be part of more of that first team hockey there. But like I said, I had a really good working relationship with the GM, and he was helping me a lot. And we did a lot of extra work outside my normal work just to help me develop. So it was a good experience for me.
Okay. And why are you now in Crimmitschau? You came here in July 2022? as an assistant coach. Why are you to Crimmitschau? Why are you coming to Crimmitschau?
Well, the summer before I came here, like I talked with my GM in Brunico, and I told him that I'm looking for some change. I need to find some new challenges. And then obviously I was reaching out in my own network, coaches around the Europe. And as it happens to be, like it always goes, that Marian Basani's oldest son's godfather was the head coach in Kloten. Kloten has an assistant coach from Finland, Saku Martikainen, and I know Saku from way back. And Marian was talking with the head coach of Kloten that he's going to need an assistant. And Saku called me and asked me if I'm interested about it. And then I called Marian and we went from there.
Okay. What is the special experience here in Crimmitschau? What do you think?
Well, it's a lot of new things again, especially in the beginning. It's just the culture. German culture is different than Italian culture or the Finnish culture. German hockey is different. German junior hockey is different. Like the players that are developing from the juniors, they're not the same players that are coming from Finland or Italy. So you have to kind of learn that. Then the league is different. There's certain rules in the league that you have to learn. It's by actual rules textbook, but then also how the game is played here. The sports culture, everything is new. It's a little bit different than what it is in Finland or what it is in Italy. So there's a lot to learn, but I love the DL2 as a league. It's a tough league to play in every game. It's a tough one, so you really have to prepare yourself every weekend. Otherwise, you're going to end up with 0 points. So it's a good challenge as a coach. How do you prepare your team every single weekend to battle for the points?
What was the hardest experience in lifestyle, the German lifestyle?
Well, language is obviously the most difficult one because, as we talked before, that at the rink, our language is always English. Then I have Esa in the locker room, and we speak Swedish with Esa. So I don't really hear or speak any German, so the language is the biggest barrier. So that's a little bit taking away from the life outside the rink. You don't have that kind of a communication with the locals as much. So that's the biggest one by far.
And the mentality, the German mentality, be tough, be not. The UK people say we have not a kind of humor. What do you think about that?
No, I don't think that's the case. Especially compared to the Finns, I think people are really social here and laughing a lot compared to us. But it's just you learning the kind of the unspoken rules of any country, any culture. That's what you have to. How can you lead the guys if you don't understand their culture, where they're coming from? So that's always as a head coach, when you're supposed to lead the guys, that's the biggest issue, that learning the culture, that what are the triggers that these guys are going to respond to.
Do you miss the water of Vasa?
Yeah, I miss the sea.
And the fish? Or
Yeah, summer house, sea, that's the biggest things what you miss.
Yeah. What's the big thing in Finland? In Sweden, it's like in summer they are going to their houses in the woods. Is it the same in Finland?
Yeah, we do the same.
Yeah.
Me growing up, we didn't have a summer house as a family, but now with my fiancée and her family, they have a summer house. So we spend multiple days in a week. We always go there when we have a chance. So we spend a lot of time in a summer house.
And in Italy, there is a sea, the Adria, were you on the Middle Sea in Italy?
Yeah, like Brunico, that was the shock for me to coming in Crimmitschau. And there's nothing wrong with Crimmitschau, don't take me wrong, but I lived 200 meters from the Dolomites. I had a balcony going up to the mountains, and you're living in those postcard views. every day for 3 years. So it's again, it takes a little bit of adjustments, but at the same time, I enjoy my life here a lot more than I did over there because the professional sport is here, not there.
In the off season, do you prefer to make sports, or are you a lazy guy?
Well, maybe I'm a little lazy too, but yeah, I play a lot of golf. Yeah, I like to play. No, well, if not every day, at least 5 times a week, and then some paddle. Now that's been a big thing in Vasa, so I've been getting into that a little bit, but nothing too much. Golf is the main thing.
Okay, what's the special feature to play golf?
It's so hard. It takes your mind off from everything. You can't concentrate anything else than golf if you're playing golf. It's such a difficult sport.
Okay.
You can only, no matter if you practice every day for 10 hours the rest of your life, you're still not going to be complete in golf. You still have room to improve.
Okay. For a non-golf player, it sounds a little bit strange because, yeah, you only have to put a ball in a hole. Yeah, so you have to concentrate, or what's?
Yeah, golf is the hardest sport in the world. That's by far the hardest sport in the world. Yeah, it's you miss the ball with 1 degree on your club. And it's going to end up 20 meters to the left or 20 meters to the right. Yeah. It's such a difficult sport to hit that ball every single time perfectly. It's amazing.
It's really underrated, I think.
Yeah, maybe here in Germany it's underrated, but then when you go to America, you go to state or Japan, Asia, those are big in golf nowadays. Even in Sweden, Finland, golf is getting bigger and bigger. So yeah, people understand how difficult that is.
Okay. Here in the Croatia area, we have a football club, FSV Zwickau. We have a handball club with the BSV, which plays in the first league. Do you look at these clubs or watching in TV and so on?
No, not really. No. I only follow some, hockey, obviously, Swedish, Swiss, German and Finnish leagues, and then football, the English Premier League.
Okay, not German Bundesliga.
Not really, no.
Why? It's not tough enough?
No, I think Bundesliga is how do I put this without hurting anyone's feelings? I think Bundesliga is an extremely good league if you take Bayern München away. But when Bayern München is playing, they're winning 90% of the games, so they win 9 out of 10 championships. So to me, that's, as a professional sport, that's boring.
Yeah.
So from second to the last, it's a really good league, but the first one is always first one. So that's why I like English Premier League, because it's so tough. There's 6 teams that can win every single year, so that's what I like about that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Jussi, for the first part. We'll be right back. Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Folge von Dan+Det. Ich bin Dan.
Ich bin Dan, herzlich willkommen. Heute haben wir Eispiratenzeit in Crimmitschau, kann man ja sagen. Und in Crimmitschau haben wir den Trainer Jussi. Nachnamen vergessen.
Welcome to the show again, Jussi. It's a second part, and now we were talking about the Eispiraten. You said, or we said, you came at July the 2022, as an assistant coach, and at February in the next year you was then a head coach. Why?
Well, obviously we didn't do good enough job going into the February, and like always in professional hockey, it's the head coach who had to pay the price, but we all know it's not about the head coach. It's the whole team, everybody around it, players, us coaching staff. But the management decided that it was time to get some kind of a change to the team, and they gave me the opportunity, and I was glad to take it. And I heard afterwards that was actually something that Marian Basani was telling the team to do. So that's always nice because our intentions as an assistant coach is never to seek after the head coach job, or if it is, you're in the wrong place.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what's for you the biggest difference as an assistant coach and head coach?
Responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Assistant coach, you only have responsibilities for the task that the head coach wants you to do. But as a head coach, your responsibilities are basically everything,
mm-hmm.
and especially the result. And the result that is all that matters in the professional sports. So, responsibility.
Okay. No, the season ended, and at the next season, you had, a flow with your team. What was the reason?
I think it was the right time, right place kind of thing. We had a lot of guys coming back from the year before, and we took like a different kind of approach for the team. And then we did a really good job on recruiting the key players. We got Colin Smith, Tobias Lindberg, Vinny Saponari, Sigmund, Oleg Shilin, Max Ballinson. We had really good important players that everybody was kind of like playing one of their highlight of their careers, like a really good year. And we stayed healthy for the most parts. First time we had some injury issues were on the playoffs against Krefeld, the last 3 games, and then on the semifinals, and then when we struggled. But besides that, we stayed healthy for the whole year. We were able to practice all the time. Everybody was kind of with the mindset that part of my language was like, fuck everybody else, that we're good. We're a good team, and we want to show that.
Okay, but what words are the difference to the former coach? What was your what was the difference between you and the former coach that the team ran to the 3rd place?
Well, I can speak about what we did, not so much about what we did before, because that's not my place to judge. I was part of that team, and I had all the chances to make a difference that year too, and I was not able to do it. So I don't want to badmouth anyone, but we just took a kind of like approach that we wanna control the games. We wanna be the one who's deciding the tempo of the game, and to do that, we needed to be really good with the puck, and we just took the mentality and mindset that we're trying to make plays all the time. We're not okay to chip the pucks away and try to defend for 60 minutes. We wanted to attack for 60 minutes.
Okay. Very offensive tactic. Do you think? Is it the right word?
I think it was just more of the mindset that that kind of like when you feel like that we try to play the game, that we always have good support to the puck like everybody else do, but just the mindset that when you feel like that you're in trouble, that you still try to find a good solution, good play to make in that situation rather than throw the puck away somewhere and start defending. That just more kind of like just don't be afraid of the mistakes. Mistakes is gonna happen. Let's react to it, but let's not be afraid to make a mistake.
Actually, the season is not so good as the last season. Why?
Well, I think the injuries are the biggest issue for us. We now played 36 games, and we still haven't been able to play with our first two lines. So somebody's been out all the time. And then compared to last year, I think, well, Oleg Shilin's last couple of games, he's been amazing. But last year, he was such a good goalie. He won us a couple of games when we did not deserve that. When we were making the mistakes, then Oleg was just, okay, don't worry about it, I got it. So he was just a wall for us especially in the first 15 games when you get the ball rolling. And this year, when we end up we lost Mirko Saher on the last exhibition game, so we were not really able to replace him on the lineup. So we were struggling with big injuries from start of the year. And that's something that, looking back, talking about that experience, that hopefully, me personally, I have a lot better tool set to handle those situations right now, because I feel like I could not help the team enough in that situation so that we could overcome those difficulties. And then the ball started rolling in the wrong direction. And now we're still struggling with the same things.
Some fans will criticize you because, why don't you play more players and so on? You know what I mean. What do you say to these fans?
We're trying to, or let's put it this way, every game, every decision that we take is based on the fact that which is gonna give us the best chance to win the game. So that's the short answer. So we're always only trying to win a game, not to please anyone, not to please any players or not even the fans. We're just trying to win a game. That's and then sometimes some guys, they're left out, but it's based on performance always, not the name on the back.
Your engagement will be now ended at 26. Was it a pleasure to Vertrag verlängern?
Extension?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously it was in a tough situation for us where we were and we still are. But yeah, it was big like statement from the management that they believe in the process. They believe in that if we keep doing the right things, it's gonna turn for us. Right now, we just need a little help to get a little bit healthier, which is happening right now. So, but at the same time, now we're measured. Now we're gonna get guys back. Now we don't have anywhere to hide anymore. Not behind injuries, not behind anything. You got 16 games left to go, and you need to win 11, basically.
Yeah. We talked with Jörg Buschmann after 10 games, and he was very positive. He said, "Yeah, it's only the start. Now we are in the middle of the season. What's you to do that the Eispiraten not are in the played out? What are you to do?
Well,
What is?
obviously we need to win games.
Yeah.
That's the obvious thing. But yeah, we need to get more consistency in our game. That we're now like, I think Krefeld game is a good example again, that we play 18 minutes good in a period, then we play 2 minutes bad, and we lose the game in that 2 minutes. Freiburg away, we played 40, 53, 55 minutes good. We play 5 minutes bad, we lose the game in the 5 minutes. Do we get that consistency into the games? And for that, we need to be able to practice better. And to get practicing better, we need bodies on the ice. You can't practice with 3 lines. It just doesn't work. So we just need, like we are now in the position that we can actually practice, that we can develop the game, we can expect it to be better after a good practice week. So it's not just hoping that we're looking at some videos and, okay, let's hope it's going to get better. No, we actually have a chance to practice and do things.
And now we have the matches in Weiden and at Sunday against Lausitzer Füchse. What's the to-do for the team?
Well, we need to take points. So Weiden away is going to be a tough one, or both games are going to be tough, but Weiden away it's not an easy place to play. They are in a role at the moment. They are on the flow. They won 5 out of last 6 games. Did not concede one single goal last weekend, so they're obviously doing defensively something well. And on the side, they scored 5, so offensively also they're doing okay. But I would still bet on us against Weiden. If we can reach our best level, we're gonna beat them. No question about it.
We have also viewers from football and from handball. Tell them, what is the most hard thing for you when you play 4 times against a team, not 2 times like in handball or football?
Yeah, I don't know. You just get a little bit more. You get those games that player are, I bet, like we're for Weiden at the moment. They've been playing well against us. That they look at the calendar and they see, okay, Crimmitschau is coming in town. That they feel good about themselves and they feel that confidence going into the game. That's what it might give you playing against certain teams. You have players that during a season that they might have 12 goals in a year, and 8 of them are against the same opponent. They just love to play against certain style of hockey or certain type of players. Like for us, we've been battling with Krefeld now in the last 2 years, I think 14 times. And Krefeld has been tough opponent for us because they're big and mean and heavy. And we've been struggling scoring against them. But then again, going in last year, we lost 4 times for them in a regular season, and still we were able to beat them in the playoffs. So it's going back and forth. But I don't think for the main part, for our preparation, we always try to think what we can do, what we have to do, instead of looking at, okay, what the opponent is doing so well.
We talked about the Premier League, and this guy said, oh, we have so much matches. And then I look to ice hockey and you have 2 matches a weekend. How do you handle it in your training and your coaching?
Yeah, obviously it's a different sport. It's way different, like kind of like fatigue, what it takes on you. Yeah, we have to think about, especially for us right now when we have guys that are playing big minutes, that it's a lot about recovery and just getting ready. And that's just like, again, on that snowball effect, when you have those injuries and then you have to overplay certain guys, so the injuries just keeps on coming. So that's been a tough part for us, but I think right now we're doing a pretty good job on that. And hopefully again we can even out the minutes in the game, so it's not so much about one guy, so we can actually practice again more on the week.
Mm-hmm. And recovery thing. In football, you have a big staff with physicians and so on. You too in ice hockey, you have a big staff.
I don't know if it's a big staff, but we got physios that the boys have a chance to go on and take some physical treatment after the games or on the when we're days off. If they got some injuries or little bangs, they're gonna get treated. And then we got the usual ones, the hot tubs and the cold tubs, and so you can do your recovery.
How did you recover on the best way for you?
Watching football and having a beer.
German beer?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Now, we talked about the situation is a little bit tough for you and your team. What are the reaction of the team? How did they handle the situation? Because there are a lot of players that played last season here.
Yeah, obviously it's been tough. It's not easy, but I think especially our leadership players, they've done a good job. Right now, I think the management is trying to do also. They're also doing a good job now and trying to get some support for the guys that we get some extra bodies coming in, but. It is what it is. Like, it's so easy to feel sorry for yourself or feeling pity or everything is against you. You just gotta buckle down and go to work. It's simple as that.
Okay. How do you get this mindset to the team? Or is it in the team, do you think?
Well, like I said again, I think our leadership players has done a good job. They're highly competitive individuals. They like to compete, and nobody wants to lose games. So it's not something that we have to encourage them every day that, hey, could you please try a little bit harder today? Yeah, obviously there's bad days, there's good days, but for the most parts, when you put the number on your chest, or in our case, it's on your back, it's not an issue that they don't try or they don't compete. It's more about, like, for example, our top line, we think about Lindbergh and Smith and Dominic Walsh now. If they have to play 25 minutes a game, you can't expect them to be good every single shift. It's too much. But if you can play them only 18 to 20 minutes, then they can be good in every single shift. They can play with higher intensity and with more energy. Right now, it's so tough for them to be creative all the time. So it might look sometimes that they're not competing or trying, which is not the case. But it's just tough.
Okay. Let's talk about the fans. How was it in Italy, in Finland, and how is it in Crimmitschau? Your experience with the fans?
I think Finland is a little bit different kind of culture. We maybe a little bit more silent in the games, and you might be supporting like more teams than just your own local team. I think in Italy and in Germany, it's more regional. That if you're born and raised in Prunico or in Crimmitschau, you're automatically a Crimmitschau fan or besprechen fan. But we don't have the same case in Finland. The team kind of like have to earn your fanship, or how do you say that? But in Italy, it's pretty much the same as in here, just because it's a South Tyrolean place, so everybody speaks German. It's more German than Italian, the city. So I think the culture is pretty much the same in sports-wise. And here, it's unbelievable. It's just crazy in this whole league, all over the place. Wherever you go, it's almost a full house, and it really matters to the people. So I think there's German like sports culture overall, not just in hockey, like overall sports culture is one of the best in the world, if not the best.
Mm-hmm. So if we were in Finland, it were possible to be a fan of Crimmitschau and Eislöwen? Did I understand it right?
Well, maybe not those two, but for example, we had like in Vasa, obviously, because we played in the second tier, so you had a lot of people supporting on the first tier teams, like for example from Helsinki, from HAFK or Jokerit, that you might travel there once or twice a year and you're watching all their games and you care more about their games than the actual Vasa team. That might happen, but maybe not the derby games.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Crimmitschau is a very traditional place to be for ice hockey. Do you feel it? Do you feel the tradition of ice hockey sport here?
Yeah, and sometimes, yeah.
And why?
It's just like just being at the rink and looking at the rink, that the rink is not there for the last 5 years. It's been there for the last 60 years. And then we have those like pictures and stuff on the walls from the early days. So every day when we walk to the ice, it's a reminder for us that there was a lot hockey before us. So we're not going to be the last or the first team in Crimmitschau. So you kind of like have to respect that heritage and try to live up to it.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's a pleasure, but it can be pain when the fans will support or not support the team. Do you agree?
Yeah, at some point, like, we don't really think about that. Like, it's obviously fans are extremely important part. Don't take me wrong. We love the support that we're getting. They're giving us a lot of energy or you know, like helping us to win the games. But if the fans are, for some reason, they're not supporting, it's not an excuse for us to not to do our job. So it's our job to get them excited, not the other way around.
Okay. This was Jussi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Danke, Jussi. Obwohl ich nicht mitreden konnte, weil ich dem Englisch nicht ganz so mächtig bin. Aber herzlichen Dank und bis auf bald mal wieder.
Good.
How old are you?
30, 35?
35.
35, right? 30.